Anyway,
Yeah.
there's also one more preview-ish thing we need to do. We actually want to talk about a challenger storyline here. We're not going to be mentioning Rei Sakamoto blowing seven. Well, Barrer almost blowing 7 match points. We are also not going to be talking about Asan Karatsev, who's been amazing. We are also not going to mention Mourani Bouziga, who is like in one of the wildest challenger final runs I've seen. However, Joao Fonseca, once again, he's going to face Ethan Quinn in the final. It's a match of two players on a win streak. But let's talk
Yeah.
about that match that happened today at first, because Fonseca against the guy who was 90% in challengers last year, Jacob Fernley, that was a big one. And the match, well, I mean, it was fine, but it was just domination.
Yeah, and the whole week actually. But yeah, especially today, you're right to mention because of course, the match was, you know, the toughest of the week, let's say, even if the whole week has been kind of tough because let's not forget that this is a challenger which has been, stacked. The draw was full of great players, and so to just manage to reach the final, as if it's kind of a walk in a park. For him, it's a huge deal, especially after what we've seen actually a couple of weeks ago at the next gen final. So building this kind of momentum for sure is going to, probably playing his also last qualis in a while in a Grand Slam. Let's
Mhm.
see. I mean, just a great player, managed to do incredible things so far, and it's just the beginning, that's for sure. You can feel it when he plays, and even against Fairley, it was just great tennis. It was not easy at all. I thought that this match could have been very much hard fought, even if I knew Fonseca was on a great run, and I know the quality he has, but I still thought that this was could have been kind of a tough test for him. And not that it hasn't been in terms of maybe the feeling on the court, but the feeling we got outside is that he really passed the test, without many issues, and just great to watch. And now an interesting final because if there's a player who right now can try to beat and defeat him this week, is a player whose confidence is very high, like Quinn. So if maybe he enters the court and the match starts okay for him, so he doesn't maybe right away fall behind in the score, and then it can start being kind of a good and entertaining, and maybe even match. So let's see what it happens, because even Quinn has played incredibly well this week, actually starting from qualis, dropping just one set so far. So we'll see. I think it can be maybe a bit tougher for Fonseca if Quinn manages to bring his level and confidence into the match. But yeah, I of course think Joao enters the match as the favorite given what is shown this week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would call it forgotten how to lose, because I think that's what we say when like someone is on a big run and they're like barely losing their matches, barely winning their matches. They're just fighting through some
Yes,
incredible adversity and they're barely staying in it, and that's when they like forgot how to lose. He's just like crushing everybody, so it's a bit of a different situation to me. Someone today told me on Twitter that like Barrer Sakamoto is going to be the match of the week or something like that, and I'm thinking, what was there in Canberra? And I just realized that Canberra is one of these events where, Fonseca is just so good that there's no classics. Like, there's no good matches in here. It's
yeah, a
just
bit like
Fonseca rolling
ATP.
over everybody. And of course, you cannot really play 50 great matches in a row. It's impossible. However, at this point, like with his floor being like so much higher now, thanks to the improved serving, also how he's returning at the moment, like it's possible that he's going to be able to avoid a stinker, sorta. As in, like when he's not hitting, his best stuff, he probably might still win if the quality gap between him and the other player is high enough. And yeah, right now, I mean, the way we're looking at Fonseca is just like, okay, can he? No, we're not even asking the question, can he win this? It's kind of irrelevant. Like everybody is looking at Australia already, and can he qualify? Personally, like right now, of course, there might be some like fatigue concerns, but this is not a physical week for him so far. So personally, right now, I can't really imagine a qualifying section where I won't be picking Joao Fonseca to make it. And then if he makes the main draw, like he just joins Nick Kyrgios, clearly Riley Opelka, all these guys, as in like the players you don't want to face in your opening round, the players you will be like running scared from, basically. So yeah, it's been a fantastic rise. Fernley was just simply no match for the aggression that Joao was able to produce. Serve return, very big contrast too, even though of course Fernley is also quite strong usually in these areas of the game. But I think Joao's block return was much more awkward for the opponent. And of course, the serving, yeah, that's something that we've been praising since the next gen finals. The smartest version of his game as well that we've seen so far. So that huge leap he took kind of like between the months of November and December is still very much there. Well, we'll see about that qualifying thing, which he said. I mean, quarterfinals Rio, quarterfinals Bucharest. He's dropping some
Yeah.
points, but playing like this, yeah. I mean, once he gets to the top 100, he probably never falls out, bearing injury. Top 20 at the end of the year, says someone in the chat. I mean,
That's still maybe it
we'll see
happens,
about
but it's not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to make a jump like this, but the level right now, the level that he's playing at, I think it is sort of around that ballpark. Of course, kind of just purely eye test since we don't have any data points. Top 50, I think right now is kind of the goal that everybody expects after the next gen finals.
Yeah.
It can backfire, Nakashima, Medjedovic, but well, considering how he started the year, a win or two at a slam, that's pretty low. That's low. That's low balling it. But yeah, we don't get Landaluce Fonseca. Should we be disappointed, or can Quinn bring it? I don't think we should be disappointed. I was a little more excited about the prospect of Landaluce playing Fonseca, more or less purely based on the fact that they had that incredible clash in Lyon in November. But Ethan, I mean, 11 matches in a row, the best version of his game we've seen. He's also like another, super powerful player who, like, once the game is clicking, it's clicking, and he's very tough to beat. So I don't think he's playing quite as well as he was in Champagne this week, but certainly is a player who can potentially trouble Fonseca. But at the moment, it just looks like if Joao doesn't suddenly drop his level and have that one stinker performance, it's gonna be very tough to stop him at this level at least. Yeah, the Australian Open draw ceremony Thursday, 9th of January. I think Sunday should be the qualifying draw.
2:30 p.m. Okay, so I'll be asleep probably.
What was going to be the day? Thursday. I won't be asleep because that will be the last day of Australian Open qualifying.
That's right.
So definitely not. Australian Open qualifying is a day is a time where I won't be sleeping at all.
4:30, for me in Italy and you as well, I think. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it says on the screen. Honestly, I was just reading off the screen. So yes,
or Mario time, as Nick says.